Man, talk about big shoes to fill. Every year in college football, there is a team that was absolutely led by one or maybe a handful of star players that end up obviously going to the NFL. But obviously the program just doesn't fall off the map after that. There has to be somebody to come in, fill that spot, and potentially, and hopefully, be better than the guy that just left. And there might not be a bigger vacuum of talent that has hit the NFL draft than the Colorado Buffaloes vacancy of both Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter. Now, trying to replace somebody like Travis Hunter, yeah, that's pretty much impossible. Finding a guy who's gonna be a first-team All-American on both sides of the ball, it's kind of impossible. But finding a replacement for a first-round quarterback, it's not easy, but it is doable. And the man that has signed himself up to be the successor to Shedeur Sanders is none other than four-star quarterback Julian Lewis, coming out of Carrollton High School in Carrollton, Georgia. He is 6'1" and 185 pounds and is currently ranked as the 10th best quarterback prospect in the class of 2025. Now, Julian Lewis might have one of the most difficult jobs in all of college football going into this next season, because not only is he going to have to replace Shedeur Sanders, who is going to be a top 5 pick in this upcoming NFL draft, but you also got to do that while having all the eyes on you that Colorado brings. I mean, if you're going to Colorado, you better be comfortable with the pressure that they're bringing. But then on top of that, you're going to be losing out on a lot of wide receiver talent. But here's the craziest part. He's supposed to be a senior in high school. That is right. Julian Lewis reclassified from the class of 2026, where he was the #1 player in that class, reclassified to the class of 2025, slipped a little bit in the rankings, but he's supposed to be a senior. He's supposed to be going into his senior year, not being a freshman at one of the most prolific programs in all of college football. Now, hey, let's take a look at the kid who has signed himself up to be the successor of Shedeur Sanders. And let's see if he's able to step up and be the future of the Colorado Buffaloes program. Leave this video a like, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Let's watch these highlights. 3, 2, 1. So watching Julian Lewis's highlight tapes, it's kind of a sore spot because he was actually supposed to be going to USC, ended up decommitting, going to Colorado. He's already pretty much wearing Colorado's colors for his high school team. This kid, his game actually translates very well to Shedeur's. I mean, he is a pocket passer, very, very accurate. He's going to be more of a dink and dunk, beat you death by 1,000 cuts kind of guy, rather than a, hey, we're just going to launch the ball 80 yards downfield because I can, and we're going to make a play. So it's going to be interesting to see how quickly he's able to develop to the speed of the college game. He is also a smaller quarterback, so it'll be interesting to see if he's able to stay off of that injury report. But he is definitely a smart quarterback, very accurate, doesn't put the ball in the harm's way that often. I'll be excited to see what he's able to do for the Buffaloes. His ball placement's great. My biggest question mark when it comes to Julian Lewis, this is a great play. Being able to low snap, eyes up, boom, sidearm, gets it right on his wide receiver's chest. Like, that's phenomenal play right there. But it will be interesting to see. I think the one area that he lacks in a little bit is just pure arm strength, just being able to put zip on the ball and get it downfield. I think he can throw it far. I just think being able to throw it far and get some zip on it, it will be interesting. But he's still growing. He's supposed to be a senior. So if he throughout the season, gets a little bit stronger, gets a little bit faster, I would not be surprised. Don't get me wrong, I don't think he's going to be like a pure day one replacement of Shedeur Sanders, but I think in his second college season, you can see a top 10 quarterback in the country coming out of Julian Lewis. Like, he has that Bryce Young, Shedeur Sanders, Tua Tagovailoa, like real calm, patient, just gonna beat you by just throwing 65 to 70% completion percentage and just absolutely just dicing you up. Does a great job of leading his receivers, keeping them out of harm's way, no kill shots. Like, Julian Lewis is the truth. Like I said, he was supposed to be a Trojan. That's my favorite team. So I wish he would have stayed with USC. I get it. Colorado's a little bit sexier right now, but I think he's going to do extremely well with the Buffaloes. I'm definitely excited to see what he looks like in Colorado's spring game for sure. Also, I know this just looks like a little check down pass. This is a phenomenal play right here. Really look at what's going on. Gets the ball, eyes to the left, nope, scans the middle, boom, immediately just checks it down. Like, that's how you're supposed to play quarterback. You're supposed to be able to scan the entire field. If you don't see it, check it down quickly. Yeah, I love the fact that he's constantly scanning the field, constantly seeing, okay, what can I get away with? Where can I get this ball to? Dime. So that is who the successor to Shedeur Sanders is looking like on the field. That is Julian Lewis. Remember the name, Julian Lewis. Now, it'll be interesting to see what Colorado looks like during Julian's time, because there's still question marks on, is Coach Prime going to stay with Colorado, or is he going to try and get an NFL job and be with his sons? Or, you know, is Colorado going to be able to keep the same level of performance that they did this past season now that you're losing two of not just your best players, two of the best players in the entire country to the NFL? I mean, Colorado's done a much better job at recruiting and getting more recruits through the high school ranks, so he's able to kind of develop more of that homegrown talent. He's also still doing a great job of being able to pull players from the transfer portal. I think after seeing a pretty successful year for the Colorado Buffaloes this past season, I want to see them take that next step and really start developing the high school recruits that they already have and turning them into day 1, day 2 draft picks. Constantly, and then that's when you kind of get that flywheel of, okay, now we're starting to bring more and more recruits in from the high school ranks because they want to come here to get developed to go pro, and then you turn them into some beasts at the college level. Maybe win a couple games or two, maybe even make it to the playoffs here in the next couple years, and then try and go for a national championship run. But again, I think that only happens if Coach Prime stays with the Buffaloes. I think if he goes anywhere else, the Buffaloes are just going to turn back into another normal team. Every single player is going to hit the transfer portal, and they'll go right back to the bottom of the, well, now they're in the Big 10 or in the Big 12, but they'll go right back to the bottom of the Big 12. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But I want to hear from y'all. Comment your thoughts down below on Julian Lewis. Were you guys impressed with his highlights? I definitely am. Again, remember the quarterback that he is and not the quarterback that you want him to be. He's not going to be a 4-4 guy. He's not going to be a Lamar Jackson. He's not going to be a Josh Allen with a cannon for an arm. He's going to be a guy that's just going to dink and dunk. He's going to pick you apart all across the field. And he's going to be great at it. He's going to be, think of like your late stage Drew Brees. Like, he's just going to simply be efficient, get the ball where it needs to be, very, very low interception to touchdown ratio, and he's going to ball out. Comment your thoughts down below. Leave this video a like and hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of the fire videos that we're dropping every single day. That's what I'm aiming for, a video a day. Comment your thoughts down below. Leave this video a like. I hope that you have a super blessed rest of your day. If nobody has told you this today, I love you. Seriously, every single person needs to hear that at least once a day. I love you. I love the fact that you've spent another day on this earth. I love the fact that you bring happiness to more people than you will ever realize. You can go your whole day and maybe you've only seen one person, but maybe little did you know you actually made that person's day some way, somehow. Know that you make a bigger impact on this earth than you will ever realize. And if you're going through life and you just feel like, man, I don't provide anything, or I'm just don't really know what to do with my life. I know a lot of kids, you know, you're coming out of high school, going into college, maybe you're in college, getting ready to leave college or whatever, and you're just kind of at this point where it's like, I don't really know what to do next. Know that you can always call upon Jesus Christ. He is the provider of wisdom to all those who ask. So if you're in a stage where you just don't know what to do next, know that you can always call upon Jesus, and he gives to those freely to those who ask him. So always remember that. I'm gonna appreciate all y'all, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Ciao.